In this video we are building a device that can separate magnetite, which is tri-iron pentaoxide, or other small magnetic particles from sand or dirt. For that we will mostly use 3D printed parts, the files of which are in the description. In the first step, magnets like this are fitted into the many holes of this drum. They can just be pushed in by hand if the tolerances are right. We only fill every second row, and all of the magnets should have the same pole facing outwards. Next, we take a ball bearing and press fit it onto the stub, like this. We take a motor and press fit it into this piece. Then we press the roller in from the other side. Like this. Next we screw this stand to a piece of wood. It should look like this now. And now we can just push this into here, so that this goes into the slot. Kind of tricky to do with one hand, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna get it right now, but now it's on here. That's not security. Now to test this thing, I've hooked it up to my power supply, and I'm going to give it the optimal of about 1.4 to 1.6 volts. But you can of course run it off of batteries. The motor can handle up to 12 volts, but it's rotating way too fast, and I'm cutting down on that. I've got some powder down here, which is what we're going to be using for testing. It is made up of a mixture of sand and dirt and magnetite. This is way more magnetite in there than in typical dirt, because this is a concentrated solution. Well, it's not a solution, but it's a concentration of magnetite, which I made using a different type of magnetite separator, which is a pretty easy thing, but I'm still going to show it in its own video, because this is probably already going to be too long. So now, giving this some power, you just pick up the dirt, the dust, and throw it on here. As you can see, the magnetic parts, in this case it should be mostly magnetite, which is dieirentreioxide, is pulled from the point where I throw it in into the right, I don't know, half tube, I don't know what this is called, but it's pulled over here, away from the rest of the stream. And because it's not a lot of material, currently it's just hanging around in here. But if we were to throw a lot more stuff in here, at some point it would start to fall down through here. But right now we don't have that much. So yeah, it works. It's important to note that this only works with dry powders. It does not work if you have this magnetite inside of a liquid. I've tried it, it does not work at all. I'm also not sure if it works if the magnetite is in very low concentrations. I just haven't tested that. But in the next video I'm going to show a magnetite separator which works both with liquid suspension and much lower concentration, because that is how I made that more concentrated powder in the first place. Yeah. I'm also going to show some things that you can do with this magnetite, not in the next video, but when I have collected significantly more of the stuff. You can use aluminum and the magnetite to make thermite, which is a non-explosive but really hot burning powder, which they actually use that to weld up train tracks. Also, we could just turn it into iron and literally make like a knife from dirt. So that would be pretty cool, because this stuff is contained in about every dirt you would find. But anyways, that was it with this video. I hope that it was not too bad. I don't even think it was good, but I hope it wasn't too bad. So if you thought that this was watchable, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see where we are going to go with this magnetite, then please consider subscribing to my channel.